Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. So today is Monday, February 7th, and I am almost finishing The Lady of the Lake. I have less than 40 pages to go, but I explained in my last weekly reading vlog that I didn't finish it because my parents were coming and I didn't want to have to stop in the middle of the last chapter, so I just stopped reading when they were coming. And so yeah, I will definitely finish this. I am also reading How to Sell a Haunted House. I'm only 26% into the book, but I also want to finish that this week. And I would also like to read Children of Memory, which is the third book in the Children of Time series, which is a science fiction series that I loved the two first books. So I have very high expectations for this one. And yeah, I want to read that. I want to do a reading vlog specific for that book. And yeah, very excited for that. And this week I have a lot of meetings and I have a lot of things happening at work. And I mean, I haven't even started working because today I had the day off and I'm already overwhelmed with this work week, you know what I mean? So that is happening. And like I said, my parents were here. They are gone now. They left earlier today, but I will insert the footage of our sightseeing I got after this clip. And I don't know what else I will read. I don't have any plans except next week I want to do a my annual romance reading vlog, so I might start reading some of the romance books this week so I don't have to read all of them back to back, because I feel that would be a lot for me because I don't usually enjoy reading romance. So that might happen. And yeah, I think that is everything that I have to say in this intro, and just welcome to the vlog. Hello, it is Thursday, and for once, I am not exhausted. I am not even tired. And I mean, if this was if I was talking to you yesterday, I would be exhausted because I literally got home from work. I had a shower, I had a snack, and I had a 2-hour nap because that was the state I was in. But today we are vibing. And honestly, I'm having a great reading week. Not in the sense that I am achieving my reading goals, but in the sense that the books that I did read were great, because I was supposed to read Children of Memory for my video tomorrow. That is not gonna come out tomorrow, obviously, because I haven't finished it. So it will come out on Saturday. But I did finish 2 other books, which were the books that I was already in the middle of. And do I have a reason as to why I would do that? No, but I did. So let's talk about them. So I finished The Lady of the Lake and I only had 37 pages to go. So I mean, it's not like this one took much of my time, but I finished it and I loved it. There were many mixed reviews for this book. Like I said in some video, probably not this one. People either loved it or hated it. And I understand that in the sense that like the way the story was told was very different from the other books. So, you know, if you're used to the other books and you love the way the other books were written in and the way the story is told, you know, you might not like this one, but I personally absolutely love this. I love the way in which the story was told, which was like not linear, and we had different timelines and we had like time jumps, and it was very interesting and I absolutely loved it, and also loved the characters. And speaking of the characters, it definitely made me feel things. Like this book, it kind of, you know, emotionally destroyed me. Firstly, because like of the things they went through, but also because of the fates, like the final fates of a lot of characters. But I do love books that make me suffer, you know, that make me feel pain or, you know, feel anything. So this one definitely made me feel things. And like I said, I absolutely loved it. The end was definitely bittersweet, and I'm not over that, but I loved the book so much and I gave it 5 stars because, like I said, I love a book that makes me feel things. That is already like one, like if a book makes me feel like strong emotions, it will likely be 5 stars, you know, even if those emotions are sadness. Yeah, like if the more it breaks my heart, the better, you know what I mean? So absolutely loved it, 5 stars. And yeah, I can't believe the main story is over. I still have the prequel, but like the main story is over, and that is insane. But yes. Then I finished reading How to Sell a Haunted House, and I don't think I talked about the synopsis of this book in this video, but basically we are following Louise, who at the beginning of the book learns both her parents passed in a car accident, and now she goes back to the hometown she grew up in, and she has to deal with everything, you know, connected to her parents' death, and she has to do all of that with her brother Mark. And obviously one of the things that they need to take care of is their parents' house. And the book is divided into 5 parts, which are the 5 stages of grief. So denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And I mean, it's not surprising, but it was really fun to see how, you know, the story correlated to those feelings in each part, because it definitely did. And the like real horror really started happening in the part of the book I read this week, which was most of it. And I really liked it because it started very subtle, and then, you know, it really escalated, and we definitely got the very intense, very disgusting scenes, which I love. And obviously, don't think I said, but this is a horror book, haunted house thing. I mean, the house was haunted, but it was not exactly the house, which was what I was thinking from the beginning. And I loved it because we got the reveal of what exactly was haunting the house and haunting them, and that was so good. And I did not see that coming. It was shocking, but in the best way possible. Like, it was so good. And I think I said in my last weekly reading vlog that I did not like Louise's brother Mark, and I did not like him in the beginning at all, but then, like, as the story progressed, I actually started liking him and liking Louise. And I mean, I still liked Louise. I liked her from the beginning. Not first half, it was less than half, but I was just, you know, waiting for things to happen. And then the rest was just incredible. It was great. It was so much fun. And yeah, loved it and gave it 4 stars. And then Children of Memory. I did start it and I am 70% in, so I will either finish it tonight or tomorrow night. But obviously I will not manage to get the book up tomorrow because I have to work. But anyway, this is the third book in the Children of Time series, which is a science fiction series. And this is set in the future. And there are basically, in the first book, there was a team of humans who left a dying Earth looking for a new home because there were other planets that were being terraformed for to be prepared for human life. And they do find one of those planets, but meanwhile, the whole time when they were looking for a place, the whole time the planet sat abandoned, another species started developing and they took over the planet. And basically they had to figure out how to, solve that, who that planet really belonged to. And there was obviously confrontation, and I loved it because especially my favorite thing about that book, and I guess these books in general, is to see how the other species work as a society, because they're obviously not, they don't work like humans do. And it's so interesting to see that. And in the second book we got to meet a whole other species, two species actually, which was also fascinating. And I loved these books so much. So I was my expectations for this book were, very high. And so far, I am absolutely loving it. I am very confused, I have to say, because also these books are kind of always told in a dual timeline. We have the humans and the other species, in the past, how they are getting to where they need to get. And then we also have the future timeline, or I guess if you count the other as the past, the present timeline. And it's always interesting to try to figure out the mystery as to how they got from one point to another. But I feel in this specific book, this third book, it's even more mysterious because I am very, very confused. I'm very intrigued. I have a theory from the end of the first third of the book, I would say. I have a theory. And there are some things that have been said up to this point, 70% in, that make me believe that my theory might be right. But also I don't see how my theory would work. I don't understand the mechanics of how that would work. You know what I mean? Obviously you don't, because I haven't explained anything, and also I haven't said what my theory is, but I'm confused. I'm intrigued. I'm loving it. And in this one we met a new species as well, which is also very interesting, the way the species interact, because, trying not to spoil anything, but one entity of the species doesn't work alone. They always have to have a pair working together, because the two parts of that pair, they think and they work very differently, but they have to work together to function as a complete unit. Did that make sense? Probably not. But yeah, that is very interesting. But in the future/present timeline, I don't know how they got there. I really don't. And yeah, I would love if my theory was right, because that would be really, really cool. But yeah, loving it. As usual, fascinating to learn how these things are happening. So far, it's definitely sitting at 5 stars. And depending on what the reveal is, it will either continue to be 5 stars or it will go down. But like I said, definitely a great reading week. I'm loving everything that I'm reading. And yeah, I'm just nervous that, the romance part will derail this situation. And yeah, even though I think I will start with one book that I think I will like, because I have read books from this romance series before, so I don't want to get discouraged. Also, just want to say that I have nothing against people who read romance. It's just not my thing. I don't want to make it seem like I'm attacking anyone who likes romance. Absolutely not. It's just not something I particularly enjoy. I guess I just don't have a heart and don't care about people falling in love, really does not interest me whatsoever. But absolutely nothing against anyone who does, because, you know, I always see people reading romance and being like so happy, and I wish I could feel that. I genuinely wish I had a heart, you know? Because, I mean, the books I love are the ones that make me suffer. So, you know, it could be nice if I could love books that, you know, made me happy, but that is just clearly not who I am. But yeah, that is what is happening. That is what I've read. My week has not been very eventful apart from that, just, you know, working and being sad with the fact that I have less than a month to be here. And yeah, that is it. That is everything. And I will talk to you again on Monday. Okay, so it is Monday and it's the end of this weekly reading vlog. And I finished Children of Memory, obviously, and I am happy to report that my theory was right. And I loved that book so much. Like, I loved everything about it. I love the plot, I love the characters, I love the discussions. I loved like the mystery of, you know, having to figure out how we got from the past timeline to the present timeline. I loved literally everything. I had such a good time reading that book, and at the same time, like, I was so excited to know what was going on, but also I didn't want it to end, which is why I took longer to read it than I should have. But absolutely loved it and gave it 5 stars. And then I read 2 romance books, and the first one was Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I don't know if I talked about any of the books at all in my previous update, but this is the 3rd and final book in the Brown Sisters trilogy, and we obviously follow Eve, and she is kind of a mess. She has tried to do many things, like in terms of jobs, but she has never really succeeded in any of them, and she just gives up when anything gets hard, and her parents are kind of tired of that, so they give her an ultimatum and she needs to find something to do and like stick with it. And so she interviews for a chef position at a bed and breakfast, and the interview doesn't go, you know, great, but also she hits the owner of the bed and breakfast with her car like right after the interview, so also not great. But he does need a chef, so he hires her, and obviously it's the romance between the two of them. And I mean, I like the book because I liked Eve and I like the guy as well, and I I really liked both characters and I liked their journeys. I did not care about the romance. It's not that I disliked it, I just, me being me, did not really care. But I won't really go into details because I have a video coming up with all of that. So yeah, there's that. I read that. Then I read Red, White, and Royal Blue. I think that's the order. I'm afraid I sometimes mix the order of the colors, but I think that's it. And in this one, we follow Alex, who is the son of the President of the United States. And he goes to a royal wedding in England, and he and the Prince Henry gets into a fight, sort of, and they cause some damage. And so now they have to pretend to be friends, and their fake friendship turns into a secret relationship. And once again, I did not care about the romance. I like the two characters, but I don't get, the feeling of, oh my god, this is so cute. The feeling I get is, especially with this book, because it happened more in this one than the other, like there was a lot of, intense love declarations, and I was just like, this is way too much. My lack of emotions cannot handle this level of love. So there is that. Again, I did not dislike the relationship, I just didn't care. So yeah, there is that. I also started a horror short story collection because I needed to break it up. I couldn't handle so much romance and emotions and love, and yeah. So I started Cursed Bunny, and like I said, it's short stories, and they are weird. And honestly, I tend to like weird horror, but some of them are not my type of weird. Others are like I really vibe with. So I am actually like halfway through it. And another thing, I don't know if it's the translation, because this book was translated from Korean. So I don't know if it's the translation or if the writing style was originally like that, but I don't love it. But yeah, some of the stories, I'm like, what? Others I really, really like. So kind of mixed feelings about that, but like overall, I am enjoying it. And yeah, there is what is going on. Also, something I wanted to say was that like on Friday, I went to work, and then like at around maybe 10-ish, I went to the coffee machine to, get a coffee as you do. And I actually found a friend there, and I think it was she who commented that it sounded like it was raining. And it did, but like it was not raining. And I was like, what is going on? And then I went back up to my office, and there was literally like pouring, not rain because it wasn't raining, but like it was pouring water inside the building. I was like, what the hell? And then maybe like 10 minutes later, the people from the second floor were like evacuated, and they came to our floor, which is the first floor. And then we were all evacuated, and it was really funny because like there are protocols for everything, for like fire, for nuclear stuff, but not for when your building gets flooded. So we were all just standing there like, what exactly are we supposed to do? So that was a fun Friday morning, and that was the most eventful thing that happened in my week probably. So yeah, exciting times over here. And yeah, I think that is everything that I had to update on, and let's wrap up everything that I read, which was honestly quite a lot. So I read the last 37 pages of The Lady of the Lake. I read How to Sell a Haunted House, the last 305 pages of that. I read Children of Memory, which was 496 pages. I read 131 pages of Cursed Bunny. I read Act Your Age Eve Brown, which was 400 pages, and Red, White, and Royal Blue, which was 418 pages, which gives me a total of 1,787 pages. So pretty happy with that, because that is definitely much more than my average. And yeah, that is it. That is everything. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!